The Convention People's Party continues to be a very significant part of Ghana's story and its history. But what's the status of that political party now? And of course, we are in the political season. The party is also headed to the polls to elect a leader of the party. I'm referring to a flag bearer going into the 2024 general elections. My name is Atisu, and in this episode of Ghanaweb Election Desk, I speak with the chairperson of Nkrumah's CPP, Nana Akosua from Moans Cuddles. Madam, thank you for having us.
Wonderful to be here, and it's great because I know that with you, most of the people in the diaspora will get to listen and hear our story. When I was in the US, myself and my daughter, we were constantly on Ghanaweb.
That's a big endorsement coming from you, and we really appreciate that.
Wonderful. And
we hope everything is well. How's work going politically and all of that?
They say country broke or broke what? We did inside. So we are all here. But yes, that at this point in our lives, it's very important that everybody gets involved. Just as our father said, as his President Nana Akufo-Addo during his, he says every Ghanaian should not become spectators. We should get involved, all of us.
Very interesting. It's interesting you say that. And I just want to get straight to the conversations. Many believe that Ghana, as it is now, is a two-party state. Is the CPP still as relevant as it used to be?
I can understand, because it just dawned on me that the overthrow, just this past February, 24th February,
yes,
was the overthrow of CPP, or Kwame Nkrumah's party. And it just dawned on me that it's been 57 years.
Wow.
57 years. So I can understand, especially when the generation like you, and as even maybe your father, who might just be in his early 60s or maybe not even 60, would still be wondering the same question. And I'm sure that before the independence, a lot of people had the same feeling. Can Ghana really get its independence? Because we had been going on for a while. Any change for the positive in life is not easy. But the truth of the matter is that it gets to a point where change is necessary. Especially when you keep doing the very same things and you keep getting the results you don't like. And you see that the future and the direction that you are going is not taking you where you must go. You must change. And that is where we are in Ghana.
You've talked about change.
Yes.
I hope I didn't cut you, by the way. You've talked about change. And is that change in reference to, of course, the two-party states, more or less, that we're referring to? Is the CPP the other option that you think Ghanaians should really be looking at?
The two parties have a policy. It's not about the people. Ghana, where we are and where we stand today, in terms of our orientation, our belief system, our actions and everything need to change. But that is not the point, the social change. That's not where I'm even focused on. I'm focusing on the states of Ghana in terms of development and the lives of people, in the lives of people. Access to accommodation, access to health, access to jobs. Those are the things, the basic things that make us all want to travel.
It's interesting. Very, very interesting.
Yes, and that is what I'm talking about. So the change I'm referring to now is the fact that over the years, we've tried to, the policies that can make the change hasn't changed. It's the same policy that has been, NPP has been following and NDC has been following. Now, CPP is the party that has been tried before. We have a policy, we have a plan. And if you try other things, there is a reason that in life, there's nothing that happens for nothing. Everything is as a result of something. When you see major, gigantic achievements, are as a result of simple, minor accomplishments along the way that adds up to become that accomplishment that you see. So, CPP has a history, and we have ideals. We have a plan. We have policies that we believe in. We have our manifesto. So until we change what we've been doing, where it's more of a neoliberal policy, where all we do now is focus on the private sector, yet we talk about private sector being the engine of growth, and we forget that private sector that is the engine of growth is the Ghanaian private sector, is the Ghanaian industry. And once you miss that and you just call everything private sector, then it means that all the China malls are private sector. All the gold industry and all the oil companies are all private sector. But have they helped us? All our talk time that is owned by foreign firms are all private sector. That is not what we are talking about. Our policy is simple. We are a Ghanaian-based political party. We brought the independence and we asked that the colonial invaders leave this country because we believe that the Ghanaian was capable and that the African is capable of governing himself. Governing doesn't simply mean the access to the funds and you using it for whatever you want. Governing means that improving the lives of the people. And we had said, our father said that we should be judged as a government by the improvement and access to electricity, water, education, and affordable housing. And quality education.
And that's what the CPP brings us?
And that is what CPP had.
Okay.
And that is what we intend to bring. Where we are today is just a mess, and we all know that. So we have plans, simple plans, that not only are we going to go back to focus on at least being able to consume what we produce here and produce what we consume as a nation. That is not the point. That is not the only thing. But that is our number one focus. Our number one focus is that we would make sure that you, as an individual, I know there's competitive advantage to things in life, and we have to find out which areas do we have that competitive edge, and then focus on that area. But you can't be a nation that everything that you have, except your raw material that you give to foreign firms, that you don't even get more than 10%, maximum 15% of that for centuries. That is what you are going to be based on. The CPP is about the ideology of the Ghanaian being able to be that after the colonization, being able to get out of this new colonization period where we'll be independent, we'll be reliable, self-reliant, we'll be able to grow and manufacture and process. You see, people confuse manufacturing. We're not talking about major manufacturing right from the word go. We're talking about being able to process our cocoa, being able to process our plantain, yam, and things so that we can have them in the lean season and package it so we can export them. Those are the basic things that we must focus on. The same thing that happened in China and other countries. We should be able to process our palm oil. But how do you process something that you have not produced? Today, as I talk to you, go to Commander Sugar Factory, which was done in CPP's time. We have brought in those factories, over 400 factories, including sugar. Today, if you go there, this same Commander factory the sword was cut by in 2014 by His Excellency John Mahama. In 2016, it was inaugurated in 2016 by His Excellency John Mahama. Today, as I speak, 2023, 9 years after the sword, the first stone was laid, we still have that factory abandoned. We still have that factory vacant. The basic question you ask is simply this: how come? The simple reason is because when we had the factory, we also had the sugarcane farms next door. All the areas, miles of them, sugarcane farm that was feeding that industry. Today, they went and still put up the factory, abandoned our old location, put up a gigantic $35 million factory there, and yet not one teaspoon of sugar is coming out of the place.
Is that not a Ghanaian thing? And I'm asking this because if the CPP was in power or was running this country, would that not have been a similar storyline for the CPP if anyone took over the reins of power here?
Absolutely not. If that is the case, then we must well just go back and hand over the country to somebody else. Because if this is our story, if this is the Ghanaian story, then what's the point? What's the point in coming to take the independence? This is not the Ghanaian, absolutely not the Ghanaian story.
So please go ahead.
This is the story of visionless, clueless people who do not have the love of a nation and do not understand the fact that we've been blessed, that we have been created in the image of one God, and that within my spirit and your spirit is this power that when we harness that power, when we give the room for people to be able to maximize their potential, and we can love ourselves and love our nation, we'll be able to do what is right for ourselves and for our children. We don't need anything to do that. Listen, the truth of the matter is that we have been conditioned over the years, and looking at them, that's a sad thing I see for the youth today. They've been so conditioned to the poverty and lack around them that it's very difficult to even tell a youth that life can be better, that you can have access to accommodation, that indeed during CPP's time, when we brought in affordable housing, we did 6,700 affordable housing. As of the 6,700 affordable housing, 200 was allocated to the middle income. That is the person working at the bank. 1,500 to lower income. That is the everyday person in the market. And 5,000 was given to laborers. And that is the accommodation that today you see in Tema, you see in South Central, you see in Medina, that people now has become the quality housing for the higher income people. It is not true. Everything is about the human mind. The human mind must be able to believe that it can do something. All the answers are there. You just need to ask the right questions. You, the youth of today, are not asking the right questions.
You are accepting the right question.
Yes, you are accepting what you see as your lot, as if it's what it is. It is not.
Now I want to ask you a question. I hope I get a right answer for it. Now it seems like on paper, the CPP has perhaps the best policies for this country. Why is it so difficult to be able to push that to people like us, the youth, for us to be able to buy into?
Thank you. This is the first time. That is why when I took the nomination, I said the revolution has just started. And it's not a revolution of taking the gun. I'm not asking any young person to go take gun, but I'm talking about reorienting ourselves, asking the right questions, and re-believing ourselves, igniting the spirit of Osagifo within all of us. And that spirit of Osagifo is the spirit of I can do it right and I'll do it best for my people. It's a sacrificial spirit. You know something? Under my administration, we haven't gotten there. I will make it so that it will be not attractive. I would just speak like the way our father said. He meant it maybe that he's going to make it, if you want to make money, become a business person. No, not just that. We will put systems in place. You have just read the World Bank report on the thermal plants and things. You can't even imagine. You can't even imagine that is real. If somebody had told me, I would have said that it's politics. But today we have it black and white by an outside organization that has looked at our books and are telling us the mess, that to the extent that almost 50% of what we are paying for has been signed by 3 different departments, as if there's nothing to have worked it together. We have a solution. Under my administration, listen to me, no minister by himself will sit down with any private sector and sign a contract and bring it to cabinet for it to be endorsed and take it to parliament. No. The minister's signature will be there until maybe the whole system is changed. However, there will be committees of core people, special volunteers, just as we have in other parts of the world. A core of people who are experts, entrepreneurs, who are experts in given area, so that when you're signing something for oil or gold or for thermal plant or for energy, you must have experts who love this country, experts who care about people, whose interest on that board It's not to make money, but to leave a legacy, and maybe just for a few consultancy. They will sit there and look at the numbers. The capital flight that we have in this country, where something might cost 600,000, and then the investor that we have invited in says that the equipment is costing 3 billion. We have no way of knowing, because that is the way they would repatriate their money there. We will bring experts who would put it there. The world has become so small. The people that would listen to us outside this country, we have experts in every area. We would have a volunteer core of people that have expertise in specific areas, so that you will not end up with road contracts that will tell you that road contract is going to cost 100 million. Yet, if you look at the same road, even done 3, 5, 10 lanes, outside might cost about 30 million.
Let me allow you to catch your breath just for a second. When we return, we'll get more into the conversation. I'm speaking with Nana Akosua from Moans Cuddles of the CPP. I'm still here with the chairperson of the Convention People's Party. That's Nkrumah's party, by the way, Nana Akosua. And she wants to be flag bearer of this great party. Is it still okay to call the CPP a great party?
I want to be the president of Ghana, so that I can help the youth be able to harness and be able to give them the vehicle, so that, because political party is the only vehicle that can take you to the reins of power, so that you can be able to make decisions. That is the point. Nobody should say, I'm not a politician, I'm sitting on the fence. Somebody is making decisions for you. You must be part of that decision process, so that even if you do not benefit, like I might not benefit, but my children and my grandchildren and yours will benefit. And that is the whole essence. So yes, CPP is still the greatest party in Ghana. You know why? Nobody has matched our efforts. You see the motorway, till today, it is the only road that really has stood the test of time. And it was done under CPP's government. And guess what? As you are passing on the motorway, you'll be seeing black all the road. You know why? Because even though it was concrete, cement was done. We did it those about how many years ago? Almost 60 years now. However, today, when there's any potholes, they just use bitumen, ordinary quota, to fill it. That is the kind of country we have. So we cannot sit there. All the factories, and I gave you an example of a sugar cane, something as basic as sugar that we all consume. Something even as basic as pencil. Go to the pencil factory in Kumasi. It's there in abundance. Something as so essential. When the government came, it says that it was going to make sure that our cocoa now can be, they are querying the foreign countries why they are not giving us a fair price and why they are not giving us a fair share. Because you look at 5 billion as to compare to over 100 and something billion in terms of the consumption of cocoa product. Who is supposed to do that? The colonial invaders who came to sit on our neck before, and we sent them out, and now they are sitting there trying to get everything you have. They are the ones who are supposed to build factories for you and be able to add value to your raw material. They won't do that. Even the cocoa, the jute sack that we had, that we were producing in Ghana, that was used to even fill the cocoa to take it for export. Even that is important.
Let's talk about your candidature for flag bearer. And when you picked your forms, you actually spoke a lot about the youth. I was excited to hear that. Why is that so much at your heart?
You have to know me. My name is Nana Akosua Frempoma Saponkumankuma. The Saponkumankuma is the political version of me. But Nana Akosua Frempoma is the caring case international part of me. For the part and the Jan Wahima portion of my life. For the past 25 years, I have dedicated my life to the youth of Ghana. Everything I've done since I came back from the US was just to help expand the minds and the hearts of Ghanaians. Because when you live outside for a while and you yourself are caught in a trap, an economic exile trap, you don't want to be there where you are. But you find it so difficult to come back because you are of some entrapment that you are in. And then you realize that if you really are dedicated and you want to do something for your nation, the only thing you can do is help young people believe in themselves, believe that they can, and then help them, give them the platform for them to excel. Because their strength is already within us. And Ghanaian youth is the best. We are a blessed nation, not because of the minerals that we don't own, not because of all the technology that we've left to abandon. No, because of the Ghanaian youth. And even today as I speak, we still have the same spirit. The Ghanaian youth spirit, and I'm not saying because I'm a Ghanaian. I guess, and I keep saying, maybe it's because of where we are positioned in the whole Greenwich Meridian, maybe the energy, whatever. But the Ghanaian has this spirit of never giving up. If he believes in doing something, he's always trying to do something. That is why the young boys from my village and from Brekum, Kwansta, and Kransa, and all these other areas, you see them on the streets selling ordinary ice cream and yogurt. And then within a very short time, they pack it, they will have a backpack, and they walk, take car from here to wherever, all across some deserts within the African continent, trying to pass to Libya, end up in some boats. If they are lucky and they don't get capsized, they end in Spain, Italy, and then they go to US and America. That spirit, that Ghanaian youth spirit, who when they don't need an adult, takes them to the global world. The Ghanaian boxer, that's not, when doesn't need you. He only puts maybe his torn mother's cloth and things into a sack, hang it somewhere, just box it until he's ready to face the world, and he still comes back with a champion.
It's very clear where the motivation is coming from. But I want us to just advance this conversation a little, and especially because you mentioned the youth. I'm wondering, now you want to be president. Should your focus not be about getting people in parliament? First, I say this because the last time we had any representation of the CPP in parliament, it was in 2008 to 2012. We've not had anyone come close. Should that not be where the focus is?
It looks like it should. In fact, the last time was in 2012 to 2016 from Kumbungu. There was a by-election.
Yeah.
So we won.
Yes, very true.
Now, yes, we will get there. The party has gone through a certain trajectory, certain history after the overthrow. After the overthrow, there was a conscious effort to ensure that the party CPP is completely extinct. So in the process, all my parents, including my father, they were all criminalized. Osadifo himself was criminalized. So everybody, those who stayed were jailed for years. My daddy was there for almost 2 years. And then after, the name CPP could not even be used. Everything CPP was burnt. So after in the Fourth Republic, this republic, when we came back, what happened is that we merged with NDC because it was PNDC. And our father Rawlings had already been in power for almost 9 years. So when we were going back to the multi-party system, they decided to merge with us. It was a plan though. I mean, another time I'll discuss it. So that measure made it so that all our parliamentary seats, all our base went to NDC. It's as simple as that. It's factual. Everywhere CPP was predominantly, because we had a majority in parliament. So over the years, what has happened is that because we lost those seats, when you lose the seats and you don't have the what we call the nine, you know, you don't have the legs of the party structure, which is the polling station and electoral area. What happens is that when you stand as a flag, you might have the best ideas, just as when I stood with Abu Sakara, he was rated #1 everywhere. Yet, it will not get to the people. Because the message must get and be debated at the grassroots. We have the best policy as I sit here today. Under my administration, no farmer will plant and will be rotting in his hands or her hands. No farmer. The same system that we did, we have improved and we'll improve it with technology. So every farmer's product will be bought by the time he or she is planting because of the structures that we'll put in place. That message must get to the farmer. But if there is no polling station executive, electoral area executive, then they don't get it. So that is what has happened. Conscious effort has been done to make sure that CPP does not get up between these two parties, especially the party that I just mentioned last, to ensure that, because our seats are there. But you see, today as we sit here, the truth is this: Parliament, as we have it today, has completely failed us.
How do you say that?
You see the failure you see around you in terms of the meltdown of our economy, of the economy, has nothing to do. It's all about Parliament. Did you approve any loan? Did I approve any loan? Did the people who had the loan, did they steal the money? They take the things to Parliament and get it approved. And Parliament consists of these two parties. So clearly, the Ghanaian has arrived. The Ghanaian youth should be smart today. The two parties can never take us there. When it comes to ex gratia, they agree and they give themselves, you don't even hear about any fight. But you bring it to levy, they will fight and still approve it. Bring it to anything that has to do with the people, as if they are bringing confusion so that they can negotiate themselves better. Enough is enough. It is not me that's speaking. It is the youth of the country that have spoken. And I believe that as we are moving on now, you will see what will happen. Now that the revolution and the train is taking off, you will see Ghanaian youth will now get up in the name of CPP. They will stand in the constituencies and they would win. I have one of the best policy.
Let's go to your policies now.
No, I think that one, let's do another one because I don't, these people.
Just give us a snippet. Give us something. You mentioned what you want for farmers, for instance. What other things would you want to see?
The first thing that for me is the core of okay, let me put it this way. My whole thing is going to be on two things. It's going to be on entrepreneurship. Okay. But I call it the IT entrepreneurship. Okay. Entrepreneurship using current technology. I would show young people and the people what we can do with the current technology we have, that we are doing nothing with it. Not digitization. Digitization has created the foundation. So let me be fair. It has created some foundation, but we will accelerate the growth of the economy by making sure that everybody, even the mother, my woman in my village, who cannot speak one word of English, will still have access.
And the second one will be?
And the second one will be the ability to make sure, like I told you, as long as we digitize the whole system, and I will have a ministry, a complete ministry. It might look at how possible. But I gave that paper even to the former, not this government, the other one. I proposed it to some friends there.
It will be focused on what?
It is called IIPSC. Innovative Ideas and Patriotic Solution Center or Ministry. In fact, it was a ministry and somebody said I should do a center. It was a part of a government. And the idea is that that ministry would be inclusive. In that ministry is the opposition.
I want to leave this so that
opposition will be there.
The next time we meet, we'll have more extensive conversation on this. I've really enjoyed this, but before I leave, I just want you to tell me, do you think that Nkrumah would be happy with the party that he left?
Let me tell you something. One thing I can tell you that Nkrumah is very, very happy with. Nkrumah is so happy that I went to take that nomination. Nkrumah is so happy, was very happy when I took this seat as the leader of the Convention People's Party, because I came in with only one aim alone, that I was going to hand this party to the youth of this country. The same way he handed over CPP and he was able to bring the economic independence. I will hand this vehicle to the young people here and all across the diaspora so that they will be able to go take over the governance of this country and be able to do what is right for themselves and for their children. That is it.
Nana Akosua, Frimpoma Sapong Kuma. Thank you very much, Chairperson of the Convention People's Party and also an aspiring flag bearer for Nkrumah's party. Thank you for joining us here on Ghanaweb's Election Desk. My name is Etsey Atisu. Until another time, be kind to one another.